Hey, what's up everybody? Sorry that it's so freaking bright right now. I just wanted to get this vid done. I could wait till nighttime for to get rid of that, but here you guys go, pickups vid. You know, I might try to cover up that a little bit. I don't know what to do about that, guys. So sorry about the brightness. I know it's pretty bad, but I just wanted to do a pickups vid here. If you just want to see the game system, fast forward a bit. Otherwise, I do have a couple other things here. Things that I've shown before, but giving some updates on them. First off, talk about a thing that's been around on my channel. It's been featured in vids just in the background or whatever since 2015. And I've always talked about this thing. And the fact that I'm always using this thing, but I don't own it. Got my thing on it. iPad 2. This was my dad's iPad 2. And you know, I've always been using this thing. I did, if you guys ever watched that live stream that I did with Food Quig, the first ever live stream, I actually used this camera. And I filmed a number of my YouTube videos on this thing, because the situation was crazy. I didn't have fucking computers for a while. So I was filming YouTube vids on this iPad, and it was a bit of a pain in the ass. But that's what I was using. I know the focus keeps on going in and out because of the bullshit lighting. What the fuck, man? This is pissing me up! I can't make the lighting work. But anyway, it is mine now. It is mine now, so I can do whatever the hell I want with it. Right now, man, I've still basically got it the same way that it was. I deleted some apps that I don't really give a shit about, and I got rid of all the data, like the contacts and all that shit. So far, I haven't really put anything on it or done anything with it. I have ideas, but I mean, I could jailbreak it. I could jailbreak it and do like the dual boot thing. The what's that program called? Why do I forget? Cool Booter. I could do that on this if I wanted to, because this actually did come with iOS 6, because I remember using it on there. I probably could put it on iOS 5 as well, but I don't think I'll do that with this thing. I'll just leave it the way it is, but maybe do something with it. Obviously, you know, just thinking, I filmed videos with this in the past. I used to look at my live stream chat when I first started streaming. I'd look at the chat on here. I'd have the stream pulled up and I'd look at the chat. Yeah, I've used this for a lot of different things. And it is mine now, finally. But this thing, it is terribly slow. And it is old, it's out of date. But yeah, so it is finally mine though, so just thought I'd show that because you guys might remember that if you've been around for a while, that I always did have this thing, even if it wasn't really mine, I just used it. So that's kind of cool. Then another old pickup, man, I just thought I'd show that I found this thing again, because I actually was not aware that I had this thing, and then I got down in there and there it was. So sorry about the brightness, but you can actually kind of see it a little bit already. Just pull it off here. RCA boombox. I know the focus is being shit, and it looks like I'm at like 2 frames. Whatever. This is a RCD 158A. Audio equipment 29RX. E255220. Portable CD player, radio cassette recorder. It is one to where you can put batteries in it. Now luckily the guy who had this before me didn't put batteries in it, or he took them out before he put it away. It does have just like a little flap there. It is kind of nasty if you can see. This thing might have leaked a little bit of acid actually, now that I'm looking at it. I didn't really notice that before, but it's not on the contacts, but it is one to where obviously you can power it with there's an AC in. I do have the power cord for this. I had to dig around a little bit to find it, but I'm not going to mess with the radio antenna right now, but yeah. This is a CD player, radio, cassette player. recorder. And it is pretty chunky, actually. It is pretty heavy for a boombox of this size. And this is, I think, like a 2002 or 2003. I think I had looked it up back when I got it. About 3 years ago, I got this thing. And it's in pretty decent condition. There's some crud that's like in the speaker grills. I don't know if it's going to show up at all. There's a little bit of crud. I did clean most of it out. And in these top holes, there's a little bit of... Yeah, you can see it looks like a dark color. It looks orange to me. I don't know if it really shows that on camera, but it is a little bit dirty even still. But yeah, I did plug this thing in, and it does still work fine. It makes, the thing is, you know, cassette player works fine. Popped in a tape works fine. My one tape wasn't. No, I think it was playing. It just wasn't. It was at the end of it, so I didn't bother rewinding it. So I just got another tape out and played that, and it worked fine. And I popped in a CD, and it played fine. Only problem is there's a lot of noise. It doesn't sound fabulous. Even I plugged in my headphones, and my headphones aren't the greatest. They crackle a bit on their own, but it didn't sound really that great. I don't know if that's because it's old or if it just outright does not sound good. I don't really remember how good it sounded back then. Obviously, it is just a boombox, so I mean, you can't expect it to compare to an actual sound system. But that noise, that's the only thing. But it is enough to where you can listen to tapes and have it sound decent. Better than probably your phone speaker. But for some reason with CDs, man, it was giving me a lot of feedback, a lot of crackling. So, like I say, it does work though. It plays tapes just fine, which is the reason that I got this thing, is that it does play tapes. I mean, I already have CD player. I got a sound system. Obviously, my computer, I can play CDs on it. So, I just thought I'd show that I found that again, because I haven't talked about this since like 2017. So, yeah, I do have another one of these. Or not a boombox. Actually, I do have another boombox. I've had that for like 10 years. I think it's a General Electric, but it does not play cassettes. It's just a CD and a radio. I did not test the radio on this thing. I have no idea whether that works or not. I didn't really think to bother with that because I don't really listen to the radio. I don't care to listen to the radio. But yeah, so that does work. Like I say, I do have another one, and that works fine too. That's just CD and radio, though, no cassette deck on it. And speaking of tape units, I do have a... I could probably just pull it down and show it. I think I showed in another pickups vid a long time ago. And it is kind of buried. I could still show it. Yikes. That old wood smell. It smells terrible. That's why I don't mess with this thing that much. This is a Sears brand, which basically dates this fucking thing for you. This is old school. Handle's still good. A Sears solid state cassette recorder. This one takes a similar sort of AC input. Had batteries. Does it have batteries? No, but it has a piece of like protective foam is still in it, so they probably never even use batteries with this thing. Has a serial number down there, it looks like. I'm getting a lot of crap off of that. Model number on this one is a 564-216-50-150. Yeah, for parts or service, always give the above model number. I'm not sure if this has a date. Look at that serial if I had to guess, I don't think this is 75. There's 2 possible years on this serial number, 75 or 83, and I'd say it's 83. I don't see this being 75, so probably an 83. Maybe some of you guys know better than I do on this, but open the door up. It is kind of dirty inside. I never cleaned it because it does not work properly. Unless I just was being a dumbass and I wasn't using this thing correctly somehow. I'm pretty sure I do still have the power cord for this one, and it did not work at all. It just outright did not turn on. This would have been like a portable unit that you just plug headphones into. I don't know if this is a built-in speaker or not. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, it has actually quite a bit of inputs on the side there for a portable unit, so yeah, man. And obviously it's very discolored by now. You can see that it's very discolored. But yeah, so that one doesn't work though from my testing. I'll be back. One moment. Sorry about that brief intermission in the programming. Yeah, talk about audio equipment. You know, I got a fair bit of stuff, but not a whole hell of a lot. I have obviously that boombox. I have the non-working Sears one. I have my Sony sound system, which is, I'd say that's actually a pretty stout system. I got it for free. So I'd say that's, for me at least, that's good enough, man. That Sony system is good enough for me. For just popping in CDs, because I listen to music on CDs or on digital files. I do have tapes, I do have records. And speaking of, I have that, I think it's a Crossley brand record player, and it also has a tape deck on the side of it. So that also is a way that I could play those. But that, I don't really trust to play my records on that thing. Especially not my old records, my 80s and 70s pressings. I don't want to play those on a record player like that one. So whether I'll get a decent turntable someday or not, I don't know. But I just usually go with CD because it's a lot more convenient and it's cheaper. A lot of times, even though obviously, you know, to get the big cover art and the liners, all of that stuff, you know, it's a lot better with a cassette. Not a cassette, a vinyl. So for collector value, vinyl's better. For playability, I prefer CD. Although there are definitely people that will argue that you can get better sound from vinyl, which for some it definitely is true. I mean, there are some, and there's some stuff that you can't get on CD that's on vinyl. And for cassettes, man, I really don't care to get into cassettes because it's just a fragile format, and I don't think they sound fabulous. So to me, it's not worth getting into cassette. But I can play it. For me, CD, that's the way that I go. I might be picking up some here soon, some old pressings, like some of the first 80s pressings of some CDs. Just kind of as a collector thing, and also some of these I don't have. So I might be doing that. But now let's get into the game system here, because I'm sure that's why some of you guys are watching this. It's for the game system, and I'm disappointed, man. I'm really disappointed by this one. Because, I don't know, it's just, it's one of those things that it could be an awesome pickup, and it's something that I've wanted for a long time. But the person who owned this before me is just, or I don't know if it's the person that owned me before, but the person who actually owned and used this thing, or they did not take very good care of their shit. That's what I gotta say. They did not take good care of their shit. So if you guys, I'll try to lead on and do a hint here. The Brotherhoods, the series. It's a console that has to do with that. United Brotherhood, the missing piece in the United Brotherhood video. That should be enough of a giveaway for what it is, man. I'll just show it off. And I did get the one that would have been era appropriate. I can just tell. Got myself a PlayStation 3 here. This is the 160 gigabyte version, one of the last fats they made, so this does not play PS2 games. Unless I've been misled, because I didn't actually get to the point where I could try it. The console itself is in okay shape, but damn, man, is it disgusting. Some huge scratches there. I'm not entirely sure how the hell that one happened. Yeah, man, these ports are fucking disgusting. Try to show this. It is a heavy console. It's probably not gonna show. But yeah, there's all sorts of shit. Let me show these. A lot of these are blocked up. I poked a hole in some of them. But a lot of that's blocked up with dust, and that's not just dust, I'll say. I did give it a pretty thorough, I disinfected the console. But even still, it doesn't look that great. It does function, but it's just disgusting. And these ones on the bottom are fucking terrible as well. Like, look at that. I'm trying to hold this thing up and it's on. This shit is disgusting as well. I don't know if you can see how dusty that is. And in the ports too. Yeah. And I'll get into that. Yeah. Controller. This was not mentioned and it pissed me off. It's not a real controller. It's this cheap knockoff bullshit, and I think I had this kind of controller for the Wii U at one point. I can smell this. Sorry about the interruption in the programming again. But I think I had this brand of controller for one of my systems, man, but that's what the controller is. It's a knockoff. Cheap shit. Yeah, it smells terrible. That's what we're gonna get into. This was owned by a smoker. Somebody who smoked in their damn house. And that's why that dust, that's not just dust, man. It is disgusting. It's terrible. When it runs, it emits fumes. It emits fumes all the time. And to play on a controller, and I did disinfect this thing. I wiped it down thoroughly. Play on a controller, it smells like cigarette smoke. It's disgusting. I could buy another controller, but the console's also jacked up. I wasn't informed of any of this. So the console is just disgusting. It's just disgusting, and it's so packed up with dust that it runs so hot to where it's getting ready to fucking shut down. So basically, as far as I'm concerned, without opening the whole console up and completely cleaning it and bathing the casing, it's worthless. Especially considering that I don't even know if the disk drive works properly or not. I did not get it to work. But it just smells terrible. But anyway, I do have a game for it. Grand Theft Auto 4. And this is actually worth keeping because it did come with the map, which I didn't have before because my 360 copy didn't come with it. So I keep it for that. I just have a PS3 title. But this is the original version where the letters are kind of actually like raised. So it looks pretty cool. See, this works fine. Fabulous there. But the console itself is fucked. So, out of luck there. I did get my money back for it because of the fact that it's so jacked with the heating, overheating or whatever, because it's so clogged up, because that's what you get for smoking around your shit. I had a Nokia phone that I had found, and the buttons, the rubber buttons, were like dark brown from the guy smoking. You can tell he was smoking when he was talking on the fucking phone. You could tell he was smoking over the phone. He was smoking all around this phone constantly, because it was just disgusting. So I just trashed that thing. I trashed the whole thing because it wasn't even salvageable. So you could do a restoration, but I'm probably not going to do one. I will hold on to it. I'll probably trash it at some point, but don't know if anybody. I'll probably just try to give it to GameStop or something like that. I could do that once they open up again, because obviously everything's closed. But probably do that. That's basically my pickups bit. I could do my goddamn freaking rant right now, but I'm not going to, because I really can't. It's just not happening. But someday I'll do a goddamn freaking rant. But that's not today, so catch you guys later.